the average price for used books from your local charity shops and market stalls are between £1 and £3. I'm supposed to be on a book buying ban, but the boss, who's just behind me somewhere, there she is, has allowed me a £10 budget to see how many books I can actually get used from my local markets and charity shops. Afterwards I'll run through them all with you and then we can see how many I got, but I want you to guess now in the comments first how many you think I'm going to get, and then see if you get it right at end. If you've never been to Chesterfield before, we're famous for two things. Firstly, a church with a bent roof, and secondly, we're a famous market town. So that's where we're going to head first. I'm going to go to the local market because there's a bloke there with like mounds of books, and I think he sells them for £1 a piece, and you can actually take your books into him and trade in your old books to get like a bit of a discount. I have got some books in mind that I want to see if I can find today. I want to start trying to collect the Chris Carter series again because I ended up giving them away and I don't know why, because I was stupid. I'd not even finished the series. I want to get Along Came a Spider, which is the first book in the Alex Cross series by James Patterson as well, and M.W. Craven. I'm just in like a bit of a crime police procedural mood at the moment. So yeah, see what we get.
You went over recording.
Boss is drawing me tenner out. Here we go, look. Wait, where is it?
Yeah.
In your hand. Give it in.
Can you get that for
£10 in hand. Cheers, boss. You haven't got any Chris Carter, have you?
I haven't.
Have you not?
Not at the minute.
You ever get him?
Do, yeah, but very few and far between.
He's
very good.
he is good.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you read him?
No, but a friend of mine has.
Yeah, it's really good.
So. They're not in alphabetical such, but they're in genres. So you got all your thrillers and your murders on this side. And then
See,
you've got all your women's books over there.
I need that book, but I can't have that one because I've got the others in that.
Colour.
In the yeah. So it'll throw me off if I go for it.
Not that you've got OCD or anything
No,
like that.
I just can't do it. Along Came the Spider. You ain't got that, have you? And that's his first one, innit? I've not read that series yet. So.
Oh, aren't you? Now, I know for definite I've got it. Do you come here regularly?
Well, I mean, I live in Chesterfield, so I can come here whenever.
I've definitely got it at home.
Have you?
Yeah.
Because I've got £10 and I'm doing a video to see how much you can buy used rather than buying new books all the time.
Oh, okay.
Because people go to Waterstones all the time, don't they?
Oh,
And
God, no.
so expensive.
You know, books are made for sharing.
They absolutely are. I always buy used.
Yeah.
I always say, like, I feel like I'm going to RSPCA but for books. Just re-home me them.
Yeah.
Right, I'm definitely going to get Dead Simple. It's going to throw me off because
Right,
it's not
not
the same colours. First book got. Babe, where are you? Where are you? She's here, look. How many books am I going to get for this tenner?
One.
One book for a tenner?
Yeah, just that one.
I'm chuffing not. She's mad, this lass. It's 2 for £1.50. I'd record me sound just talking to my camera.
Because I'm not going to be on YouTube.
I do. You can if you want to.
No.
Well, it'll follow me. Look, if I do this with my camera, I fancy it just follows me around. Babe, I come in here about 20 minutes ago and they had a Chris Carter book. It's gone. I found it. These like gold dust. Chris Carter. Police procedural. They're quite graphic though, like really graphic. So I've just come out at Samaritans, got 2 more books, and I'm obviously not going to show you what books they are yet because then you won't stay till the end and watch, will you? But it were 1 for £1 or 2 for £1.50. So I got 2 because that's how they trick you into buying more. But I did want them both anyway.
Will you just go away?
Show everyone your mince pie.
Just go away.
Go on then. So it turns out we've got 2 book market stalls in Chesterfield. I thought we only had one. The one I'm going to now is the one I knew about, and the lady from the one that we've just been to said that this guy is still here but he's miserable. So
Nice.
that's what she said. She said he was miserable, not me. I'm not saying he's miserable. I'm just saying the other lady at the other stand said that he's miserable. So yeah, hopefully his books are cheap. He doesn't. Oh, we're here, look. All your crime stuff, is it just in amongst?
Next, from James Patterson to M.
Champion. Have you got any Chris Carter? I know he's like rocking or shit, isn't he? But...
There's
Oh, you have? Oh, I think that's what I've just picked up. How much are your books?
£1.50 each.
Do you trade in as well? I ain't got any today, but you do trade-ins, yeah? Just this one then, I think. Got another book. He was sound, to be fair. Ellie said that. We got there, she was like, oh, you were lovely. So yeah, 2 market bookshops in Chesterfield. Another one here, £1.50 though at that one, so a little bit more expensive, but he did have a better selection, didn't he? He had more books.
Yeah.
So 2 more, maybe 3 more charity shops, and then wrap it up and go home, and then I'll record some more footage for you. Hey, I'm back. I got a new coat. You've not seen this before, have you? What a weapon. Ellie saw it in a charity shop. She was like, babe, get this, £10. So I was like, all right, I don't treat myself very often. I'll get it. And it fits. So you might see me in some different clothes because you've probably noticed I'm always in the same clothes, like all the time. But anyway, I got these books. Here, look. £8.50. I come away with £1.50 change. Ellie took £1 off me because she wanted some of these Haribo rhubarb and custard things, which she did kind of share with me. And then I got 50p left. Baller. So I'm going to start quick fire running through these books that I picked up. The first one I'm actually a bit fuming about because I've been sold a dream, which were a lie. The guy in the market said to me, if you like graphic crime books, then you'll love Graham Masterton. So I was like, oh, is that a series or is this standalone? He's like, no, the standalone. So I was like, yeah, all right, sound. I can add a standalone to my collection. It's not a standalone. I had a Google when I got in, and it turns out that this is a series, and I don't even know where this places in the series. But what I do know is it ain't book number one. And I know a lot of crime books you can read as standalones, yada, yada, yada. I don't like doing it. I like to read from book one going on. So I did a little bit of research on this series, and it appears to follow a police detective called Kate something or other. DCI Kate Maguire. So it follows her through loads of violent police investigations, I guess. But frustratingly, I can't read this because I need book one. So, wait, £1.50 wasted? I don't know. I might get round to it at some point. Next up, Northern Lights by Philip Pullman. I know this is a massively popular book, but it's a massively popular book that I ain't read. And I am told that it's fantastic. It's like a fantasy adventure that follows a young girl, I think called Lyra, and an animal demon. From looking online, I believe that the people's souls manifest these animal demon things, and it's like a philosophical adventure cray series, part of His Dark Materials. And I think in North America this is called Golden Compass. So if you are watching from North America, yeah, Northern Lights is called Golden Compass, which I googled and found out, which is pretty cool. I don't know why they changed names, but they do. Next up, I don't know if you can see that, Dead Simple by Peter James. This has been on my radar for a bit because if I show you this, I'm fuming at this. Let me show you. I don't know if this camera's going to follow me because it should. Oh, look at this. Woo-hoo-hoo. Look at me, look at me. Up again. I mean, oh, look at this. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Come to me, come to me. Look at that. That's right clever, isn't it? This is book 2 and 3 in this series. And I don't know if you're going to notice here, but there's a bit of a problem. Yeah. I'm fuming. I've been looking for Dead Simple, which is book 1 in this series, for ages. But it's a different set. And anyway, I picked this up from Market for £1. So it's £1 in it. I'm not going to grumble. I'll probably end up just dog-earing old pages and getting it away after anyway. But it now means that I can actually start my journey into Peter James's Roy Grace series, I think this is, which is a massive series. This follows a detective called Roy Grace. I think these crimes are set in the UK, which is cool. I like anything that's home-based. But I think there's 19 books in this series. I have never read any Peter James's work, so I don't know what to expect. I don't know if the chapters are short. I don't know if they're violent. I just don't know what to expect. But one of the lads that I follow on one of the other social media apps just swears by this series, and he said it's insane. He's read them all. And if someone's going to dedicate themselves to 19 books, then I'm willing to at least try one of them. But I've got 3 because I'm just that kind of guy. So that's the next book that I bought. And then some of you are probably going to like this one. Stephen King, The Institute. I've tried about 3 Stephen King books so far, and I ain't enjoyed any of them. I read Misery, and I thought that book was misery, like the clues in the name. It was miserable. That man is a waffler, and I've said this before on my page. He just goes on and on and on, and I'm just like, dude, get to the point, please. I just found Misery were just a crazy woman walking in and out of a room describing a guy's mangled legs all the way through. Although I didn't finish it, to be fair, so it's probably harsh of me to say what the book's about when I've not finished it, but I just got so bored that I DNF'd that book. I tried another one that I can't remember. Bag of Bones. I tried that one, DNF that one. And the other one that I read, I actually finished Carrie. And Carrie, the only reason I finished that is one, because it's about 270 pages long, and two, because it's different to the film. The film focuses mainly on the prom and how absolutely wild she is at prom, and she's just like, Kia! Kia! Just throwing, yeeting stuff at people. Whereas the book, interestingly, focuses a lot around how much her Luna mum was and the psychological trauma that Carrie will put through, which caused her to be the person that she was, and she just wanted to be loved. So I actually enjoyed Carrie a bit. So I've picked this up, Institute, because I got loads of messages from people saying, read Institute. Now, from reading this, it seems like this is about a young lad that's got mild telekinesis powers, which is cool because Carrie had that. And then he goes to this institute where they keep like special children, and they start doing tests on them and stuff. And they basically say to kids, like, if you behave, then we'll eventually let you go. Just let us do all these tests and prod you and poke you and stuff with all these things, and then you can get gone. But obviously, they're just never going to let them go. So from what I've read here and online a little bit, it seems like it's the story about all these kids who are like, oi, you're not planning on letting us go. We're going to have to figure this out ourselves. How are we going to get out of here? Because this lady that's running this place is absolutely woo. So I'm actually excited for that. I don't know. I always go into Stephen King books now thinking he's just going to waffle. He's going to talk to me for a page about what colour grass is. I know it's green. Just tell me green. Grass is green. Move on. But anyway, I'm willing to give it a go. We'll see. At least it's got chapters. Some of his books don't have chapters in, which is just crazy. The Tattooist of Auschwitz. I am a massive fan of historical non-fiction, mainly World War II, anything to do with that, and I'm normally hooked. This book has been recommended to me so many times. The only books I've read recently, historical fiction, is a book called Survivor, which is still on my bookshelf. That was class. A book called The Boy Who Drew Auschwitz, and that was class. I've picked this up because someone messaged me on TikTok yesterday and were like, read this. So I was like, all right, cool, I'll read it. I believe it's part of like a trilogy. I don't know if it's the same person's story, but I think it is about a man who is a Slovakian Jew, and he is tasked with tattooing all of the prisoners that come into Auschwitz-Birkenau, and he then meets a lady who comes in, who I'm guessing is also a Jew, and then them two like get a romantic connection, and he's like, woo, and she's like, woo. So yeah, kind of a love story, which I've not read a love story in that, which I think that'll be kind of cool because they're put in like the most disgusting environment, and I'm guessing they're going to find some sort of happiness or love in Auschwitz. Like, how can you be happy in Auschwitz? It's brutal what they will put through there. But yeah, so I'm very excited to read that one. This one sounds bang up my street. Now these next two, these books are like rocking horse to get hold of. I am guilty of giving away every single one of my Chris Carter books, and I have no idea why I did it, because this man puts something in these books that just get you addicted to them. The Robert Hunter series is probably, I'd say, the best police procedural series I've ever read. And I've only read the first three. I think this is book 4. I read Crucifix Killer, Executioner, and Death Sculpture. I think that's what they're called. And then I gave them away to followers because I just haven't got room in my house for books. You can see I'm already overcrowded there. My other bookshelf's full. So usually when I finish a book, I just pass them on. But I just wish I'd not passed them books on, because they're definitely a series that I want to read again. If you haven't read Chris Carter's Robert Hunter series, then I'm going to tell you now what it's about. It's about a guy called Robert Hunter who is a detective in the Violent Crimes Unit in the LAPD, I think it is. It's set in America. But these books are like grim. Some of the unalivings in here are like, they're not just like, oh, you're done. It's like minging as hell. Some of the scenes that you go into and the description of them, yeah, they're just foul. And I'm here for it. Maybe I'm a bit crazy, But again, I keep saying it. I blame my dad for leaving me when I was a baby. I got issues. This is the next book that I need to read in the series, but I'm now on the adventure, we'll say, of trying to recollect all these books again. So I found this at a market. This was at the market with the guy that I recorded, and that was £1.50. And I found this, which was either £1 for one book or £1.50 for two. And one of these other books was part of the £1.50 for two. So I don't know which number Written in Blood is in this series, but it is part of the same series. So I'll be reading this soon because Chris Carter is just absolutely insane. And I found out from doing a bit of Google boxing that Chris Carter used to be a former criminal psychologist. And anyone that writes these kind of books, if they've actually got a background into it, I just think that's cool because you kind of know that they've already got the research there. And what they're putting in the books is probably relatively accurate. So far, he's only released 12 books in this series. Might be 13. Google says 12. But I believe it's an ongoing series as well. So if you want in a series that isn't like 20 years old, like some of James Patterson's, then this might be the one to pick up. The chapters are crazy short. Like I can show you now some of these chapters if I go. So chapter 51 there. Chapter 52 is 3 pages. 3. So this is literally one of them series where you're in bed at night and you'll be reading. You'll be like, oh, one more chapter. And then you look and you go, well, next chapter's only 3 more pages. One more chapter. Next chapter. That is madness. Look at this. You ready? Chapter 43 there. Oh, it's trying to follow my face. Chapter 43. You ready for chapter 44? Ha! Next page. That is wild. Yeah. These chapters are like shorter than my hair. I say it all the time. Chris Carter, what a lad. So I got them two anyway. But back to the purpose of this video. Most of my books come from charity shops and markets because I ain't got an endless bank balance. I've got 3 kids, I've got a wife, we've got a house, we've got bills to pay. I can't unfortunately afford to go out and buy 10, 15, 20 pound books every single time. However much I would love my bookshelves to be stunning, like all these ones that you see online. Massive bookshelves, wall to wall, and beautiful sprayed edges from Illumicrate and Fairy Loot at £30 a pop. I just ain't got money for that. I'm not saying I haven't got the money for that. I can't warrant spending that amount of money on a book when I've got kids. And this is the first time I bought a coat in Yonks. This £10 coat here, I don't buy myself anything really. Same with my wife, she don't buy fancy branded clothes. We tend to spend the money on the kids' clothes so they can go to school and not look homeless. I don't mind walking around looking homeless though. I wear the same clothes all the time. So, I wanted to do this video to try and shed some light on the accessibility out there for people and to try and encourage people to go out and support your local charity shops and support your local markets. That woman that had the market store earlier, she goes round charity shops finding books and then sells them on at a bit of a profit, but that's her livelihood. And by us going round and supporting these markets means that that woman who's genuinely got a love for books, she would talk to me for a good 10 minutes about some of the books that she loves. That puts her in a position that she can actually do the job of her dreams. She stood on a market talking to other book lovers and selling books back on. I do love going to Waterstones and I love buying me a brand new book and getting a little stamp on my thing. I'm one book away from me next free book. But that's a treat. I'm not going to do that all the time because I get through a lot of books. And if I were to buy every single book brand new, I'd be broke all the time. I'd be so skinned. £8.50. Think about it. £8.50. Start buying books from your charity shop if you don't already. And if you do, well done you. Anyway, you're bored of me babbling on there, and I don't think I've got anything else to say. I think this challenge has been fun. I hope you were close when I asked you at the start of the video to guess how many books I got. If you already bought from charity shops, you probably already knew roughly how many I was going to get anyway. This is great fun. I hope you have as much fun as I do, because this is class. If you've watched till end, you already know I love it most. I'll see you in a bit.